In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to use GoHighLevel's website builder to create websites that you could sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars each, and how you can also build a website for your own business if that's what you are looking to do. I'll go over everything you need to know, from designing the website, picking the best template, customizing the fonts, adding tracking code for example Google Analytics, and everything you need to know. So make sure to watch this video until the end so that you don't end up wasting time creating mediocre websites, because GoHighLevel does have a very powerful website builder if you use it right. Now what you want to go and do first is obviously create a GoHighLevel account. If you don't have one yet, you can claim an extended 30-day free trial through the link that I'll leave down in the description. Now from there, open up GoHighLevel and go to a sub account that you want to create a website in. So if you're selling the website, then this would be for the client you are creating the website for. Then around that, you could also sell other stuff such as automations, but that's not what this video is about. I'll mainly be going over again the website builder. So from there you can go into sites, and I've saved a few templates that I think are some of the best. So at the top, just go to websites and click new website, then go to from templates, and then click continue. Now they have a bunch of templates. You can see currently 625, so pretty much any industry that you probably want to work with, they will have something. But I've got a few favorites, as I mentioned. So for example, for a SaaS business, just the one called SaaS is beautiful. You can see a preview of it right here. Then for example, a barbershop, you have the hairstylist one. For a cleaning company, just the normal cleaning company works very good. Then you have the travel bureau one, which I think is very good. Then you have the jiu-jitsu or a gym template, and also for real estate agents. But you can just go to the industry you are working with and find one. For example, I just found on Google Maps right here this restaurant in New York, Osteria, Brooklyn. Currently, this is what the website looks like. Not very good. There is not a very clear button here to book. You need to go to reservations here. This can be improved massively, and imagine what that does for a business like this if you improve their booking rate by 10%. They would make thousands or tens of thousands of dollars extra per month from just that one improvement. So imagine what your website can be worth if you just improve a mediocre website like this. And it wasn't difficult to find this one. You can see it's just 4 results down right here, and you find a bad website. Then you can just shoot them an email that you want to create a website for them. You can send an example for a restaurant. So in this case, I would just go to restaurant and bar. Then often it's best to filter by most popular. And then here you will find some of them. Now really all of these will be better than the one that I have as the example right here, because this one is just pretty bad. But you can just pick one that you think looks good for the business you are working with. Now for example, this is for premium meat, but if you're working with a sushi place and you think it looks nice, you can really easily just build it as a sushi business website. So remember that you can really easily just change what a template is about. Now I'll be going with the premium meat restaurant one, since I think it's one of the better ones for restaurants, but you can just choose whichever template you want to get started with. And now we can get into actually designing the website itself. You can also start from blank. That will take a bunch more time, and it often doesn't really look better than when you start from a template, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. So first, if you're creating the website for yourself, you probably kind of know which kind of pages and functionality you need in your website. But if you're building it for a client, you could look at their current website. For example, this one has hours and location, menus, about, catering, private events, shop, and gelato, and of course reservations. So if you want to build these same pages, what you can do on the website builder here, just go to pages, which is this icon, and then you can see the current pages here. So they have the contact us, calendar, thank you, multi-purpose, and link in bio. Now if you want to create more pages, just click back right here, and that will take you to the general page here. And you can click add new page. And then for example here they also had catering, so then I could have a name catering. And then here you can click create new page, and now I'm creating a catering page, which I would then need to create myself, since right now it doesn't yet have a template for this, but that isn't very difficult to do either. So I'll mainly be editing the home page, but I'll also show you how to actually add functionalities such as bookings, because that is pretty important for a restaurant business and pretty much any other type of service-based business. Now you can also create e-commerce websites, but that is pretty similar, and the main thing here is the design of the website. That's what clients care about most, and if you're creating it for yourself, that's also one of the more important things. So in order to change anything, it is super simple. you just hover over it. And by the way, if I go to the side here, you can see you have the green outline. That is for the entire section. But then if I go over the logo here, that's the navigation menu, or here this is the button. So you can really easily see what is what. So this again is the section, which in this case is a picture. Then you have your text, so the headline, you have a button, and all of that is put inside of the first column. But for now, I'll just go to the logo, so the navigation menu, and then here in the right, I can find a section that says logo. So here I have the logo settings. Then I can just click on the image here, and then I can upload my own image by clicking upload. And then, for example, I'll just take the image from the restaurant here that I took as an example. So now the image is uploaded, and I can now click upload right here. And I can now click on it and then click insert media. Now currently it's black on a black background, and obviously it's not very visible. So to change this, just go to the section here, which is the green outline, and click on it. And you can see the background color, which in this case is black. Now I want to change it kind of the same way that they have here, which is white. So I'll go to the color right here and just change it to a sort of off-white, or you can also do full white, whichever color you want to use. And from there you can see it's a lot better visible. Now currently all buttons are in this kind of red color. Now if I want to change just the color of all the buttons, I can just click on the button and then just go to general and then scroll down. Then here under background color, just click on it, and then I can change the color right here to a green color or just to a black color to keep it pretty clean. But for example, I want to have this button kind of pop out. So what I'll do is kind of make it a blue right here. And then you can just do that with every single one. It's very simple to do. You can see everything is very intuitive. Now, if you want to change some text, what you do is just click on that text. And then here I can type whatever I want. Now here, this one didn't really have text. It says welcome to Osteria Brooklyn. So I'll just copy that. Welcome to Osteria Brooklyn. From there, if you want to, for example, change the font of your website, what you can do is just click on the text, go to typography, then here under typography type, just click on the headline font, and you can do content, so then it will already change, or you can set it to a custom font. So for a custom font right here, you can just choose any font. For example, if I select Poppins, you can see it now changes to that font. Now here for the content font and headline font, to basically change your default font, just go to typography at the top right here. So these are more of your general website settings. Then here the headline font is currently Antonio, which is the one you see here. If I go and click on it and change this to Roboto, for example, you can now see that that changes as well. And for the content font, let's say Montserrat, you can see that if I now change this to the content font, it becomes the Montserrat font. Then here you can also set the text color, so the default text color and link colors. So if you want to change that, that can also be done from within here. Now there are some other things I want to go over. So you can add custom CSS code to add custom blocks. There you can add tracking code, which is where you can add, for example, Google Analytics code, Facebook ad tracking code, stuff like that can be added right here. Then the pages we went over earlier. In layers, you can see, for example, if you click on the page dropdown of the layers, and you can see the pop-up, which I'll go over later. Then for the background, you can select what background you want to set. So currently it's just white. Now if I change this to blue, for example, you can see the background down here is kind of blue, but I'll just keep it to black. Then here you have your pop-up settings where you can create a pop-up. You have your SEO metadata. So what GoHighLevel does very well is making the SEO very simple. So right here, if I go to content, you can see it says 3. That means there are 3 problems. First, for the content, the page has no title. So what I would do is set it to, for example, homepage, Osteria, Brooklyn. Now this is not something that people actually search for. So instead what I could do, for example, is steak restaurant, New York, Osteria. Something like that, as long as it's under 70 characters, but something that people actually look for. So just make sure that all the SEO is good and your client will appreciate it, because they are again going to get more bookings by ranking higher. They can also preview custom codes. You can set the cookie consent, so enable the cookie consent banner. You can set the layout and cookie list for it if you want to turn it on. And by the way, if most of your audience is coming from mobile, I would recommend editing for mobile and later iterating for desktop, since right now, as you can see, the mobile version looks pretty bad. All the images here are cut off, stuff like that. The button doesn't look good under the logo. So I recommend editing for mobile, and then after that doing for desktop if most of your audience is coming from mobile. Now in the navigation menu at the right here, you can see the menu items. So they have home, about, services, and contact. You can really easily also just change the order right here. Now currently, for example, this button says get your free dessert. Now I don't really want to have an offer like that right now, so what I'll do is just click on it, and then here go to general. So right now you can see the text is get your free dessert. I will say make a reservation now. Now what you can then do with that button is either lead it to an external site. For example, if you do your bookings through Square, you can then lead that button to a Square page. You can also do your bookings inside of GoHighLevel. So you can just choose what you want the button to go to. So right now it links to a pop-up. What you can also do again is a website URL, go to a page, scroll to an element, a one-click upsell, a call, email address, whatever you want to use, you can choose right here what happens. Now currently it's set to pop-up, so if I want to choose what the pop-up looks like, I would just go to pop-up settings and then create a new pop-up. From there I can then customize what this pop-up does. And then I can just add a row, so I'll just do one column, then add an element, and then here search for a calendar, and then here just drag in the calendar. From there go to the calendar builder, just build your calendar so that you can set your availability, your tables, stuff like that. And this is all restaurant specific, but you can also do this for barbershops and other businesses. And then from there a person can just book in a reservation in this case through this pop-up. Now one more thing, if you want to change, for example, the background, just click on it, and here the background is currently an image. I can also make it a video or a color. Now if I select image here, I can then select which image it is. And if you want, you can also add animations. So for example, if you hover over this button, you can see it kind of slides up. Now if I want to do a similar thing with the text, I can just click on it and then go to animations right here, and then do an entrance animation. They have a lot of them. So for example, I could have it zoom in, or any of these other ones, an infinite loop, a zoom, whichever one I want to use right here. Now, for example, I'll just fade it in like this, and then click adjust animation. Now from there you can have it scale more, you can have the duration, the delay, stuff like that. And then you can just click on the cross, and then you will have edited it. So just go through the website, edit everything you want to edit. So for example, here add your opening hours, then add your address, add your email for the business you're building this for. Then here on the Google Maps widget, click on open search box, and here you can just search for the location. So in this case, it's Osteria, Brooklyn. So I can then just select that right here and then click yes, save, and now it's set to that location. Then you can have your FAQ, so you can just click on it, and then here set the list item and then edit the text. Everything is just super simple to do, and you have a button for Instagram. Then if you click on that, you can have it go to the page. You can then click link to and then open a website URL. Then here just paste in your Instagram URL, and it's super intuitive again. Now if you don't have Twitter, for example, what you can do is just go to the delete button and then it will be removed. Now another important thing you need to do is connect a domain. So if you're building the website for a client, then they probably already have their own domain. Now in that case, you need to ask where they registered their domain, and you will need to work with them in order to connect it. But if you own the domain, then it's very simple, just go to connect domain, and if you are working with them, this works the same way. From there, just click connect domain, and that will then take you to your sub account domain settings, because you need to connect it to your sub account. Then here input your domain. Now, for example, a pretty popular domain registrar is called GoDaddy, so I'll use this one for this example because the chance is pretty high that they bought it here. It could also be Namecheap or any of the other options, but the client just needs to go to their domain registrar if they want to connect the domain to your website. From there, you need to go to DNS, and then on GoHighLevel, just type in the domain name that you own or your client owns. So for example, danistutorials.live, then also add www and click continue. From there it says setting up your domain, so it's finding the provider details, and it will then give you DNS records that you can add in your domain registrar in order to connect the domain, and I'll show you exactly how that works. So you can see you get an A record and a CNAME, and there is currently an A record conflict. The reason for this is that I already have an A record, so what I would need to do is just delete that one. But from there, what you can do is just get the record, so this is an A record with host at, then you copy this, go to GoDaddy, add a new record, then here type A, name at, and then paste in the value. So it's super simple. Now for the CNAME, it's www, and copy this. Then here add a new record, now set CNAME, name is www, and then here paste this in and click save, and now you have updated your DNS records. From there I would need to delete the A records, and then I can click verify records, and from there I've successfully added the domain. Now, if you go back to your website and open up the website you're building, there is a few more things you can do. So now we went over the pages, and now you can add new pages, and now you can customize the pages, which is the most important thing you need to do. But what you can then do is go to stats. So if the website has been up for some time, you can select the time frame here. You can see page views, opt-ins, sales, and earnings per page view. And you can see it for every single page how well it performs, and you can optimize from there. Then in sales, if you're selling stuff through your website, you can see right here how much sales it gets, which is very good for client tracking and seeing how good of an ROI your client is getting from your website. Then you have security, so you can add a security header. Under events, you can set an event. And you have your general settings. So right here you can add a chat widget to your website. You can have the head tracking code, body tracking code. You can add your favicon URL, select the domain, set the name and path. And there are a few more options you can go over right here. Now, if you want to create a chat widget so that you can chat with the people coming through your website live, you can just go to chat widget right here to set it up, and then here enable the chat widget. And then whenever someone sends you a message, you'll find it in conversations right here. Now, if you build this website for a client, then you will want to give them access to the GoHighLevel account. Now, if you got the GoHighLevel Unlimited plan, then you will be able to add your own branding to the GoHighLevel platform. So you can see right here, you have the branded desktop app for the $297 per month plan. That way you can have your own domain on it, your own logo, and it looks very professional for your agency. But then if you want to go and invite them, you can just go to settings right here, then go to my staff, and then here add a user. Then just set the user info right here. Then in roles and permissions, you can choose what they are allowed to do. So in this case, you can make them an admin or a user. You can choose where they have access, so account settings, account tools, automations. If you just want them to respond to messages, then you could, for example, only give them access to conversations. But if they don't need integrations, they don't need GoCollab, they don't need funnels, you can just remove those, and then they will not be able to see that stuff. So overall, GoHighLevel's website builder is very easy to use. They have a bunch of beautiful templates. Again, these right here, in my opinion, are some of the best, especially one for hairstylists. So if you're still deciding on what industry you want to work with, these will work very well because they have very good templates for them. But even for other industries, they also have good ones. But for example, this barbershop one here looks very good in my opinion. It just looks very clean and professional, and I could definitely imagine a barbershop paying thousands of dollars for this because they will get a lot more bookings. Now again, if you haven't yet created your GoHighLevel account, you can get the extended 30-day free trial through the link that I'll leave down in the description. But now you know exactly how you can build a website either for your own business or for a client's business using the GoHighLevel website builder. So if this video helped you out, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel. With that being said, I will see you in the next video.